welcome back to my next smartwatch review. Today we have the DT5 Smartwatch. Now, just looking at the box, I can see the app here is going to be Wear Pro. That's W-E-A-R-P-R-O. This is a 4 GB TWS local music, video, sound recording, photo album, 3D display, all the same stuff. Smartwatch. I'm going to open this box up, show you what comes out of the box, and then I'm going to go away and charge it and wear it for multiple days, and then come back with my full, fair, and honest review. This looks interesting. This is unlike other packaging I've seen. The accessories are just kind of like swimming around in here. Let me pop the watch out and take this protective film off the front. It's times like this I wish I had longer fingernails. It's got a protective screen on top of it. Let me press and hold the side button to see if it has any battery life out of the box. Now my first impression, ooh, jeez, that is loud. That reminds me of the Watch X smartwatch review that I did a while back. Okay, there's another protective screen on the back here, and you got to remember, folks, always peel these things off, because some people forget to peel that off and then they complain that it's not accurate. Well, it's because these sensors need to be right up against your skin. This is reminiscent of the Watch X in my mind. Let me press and hold the dial face there. Yeah, we're going to have different dials. Boy, this looks very, very familiar. But let me show you what comes out of the box. It has a different kind of charging station here. This is going to plug into USB Type A brick, and then the watch will cradle on here. I don't know if it only goes one way. Yeah, it looks like it only goes that way with the wire going off to the left. It's got a silicone wristband here. This looks nice because the, I don't know, it's got some grooves in it. It just looks a little bit different from all the rest. And now we have a smartwatch user manual. And let me open this up and thumb through it here quickly. I don't see English here, which happens to be my language, but it probably has it in English somewhere in here. Yeah, I'll find that. But, you know, it's legible. I can read it. Here we go. Here's some English here, and it says the app is going to be, yeah, that Wear Pro. So let me put the band on here, and this will be the first time I've actually done this on camera, where I show you how to attach these wristbands. Well, you just pull this little lever here on the back and then find the little hole in the side, the slot of the watch itself. It's like a little shock absorber or a little spring-loaded clip here, and that will go in there, and you just kind of sometimes have to wiggle it until it pops into place. All right, so I have the wristband put on here. The back of it looks good. It's metallic. However, you see 4 screws here holding the whole back on. That's kind of reminiscent of a cheaper style smartwatch. But let me press this button and see what happens. Let's swipe from right to left. There's beats per minute. That would be your heart rate. Mobile music, and you can add modules here. Let's see what modules you can add. That looks like it's going to be maybe blood oxygen saturation. Let's double click this. I don't know the menu system here yet. Okay, there's heart rate, dial pad. This is a Bluetooth calling smartwatch once tethered via your phone via Bluetooth. It'll have weather, blood oxygen saturation, music, breath training, sports. I think this is supposed to have blood glucose in it. I could be wrong about that. It's got a compass and flashlight, camera, video. Oh, yeah, this is going to be just like the Watch X, where it has some pre-programmed cheesy videos in here. Very, very, very loud. So let me swipe down and see if I can get to some volume here. Let's go into settings, display, music, set time. All right, I'm just gonna, obviously I just brought this out of the box, so before I get too deep into this review, let me go charge it, wear it for several days, and come back with my full, fair, and honest review of the DT5 Smartwatch. Alright, so let's go through some of the settings here. You have your sports modes, and there are plenty of them in there. Walking, riding, basketball, many different sports modes. Now, this is not a GPS watch, so when you're engaged in a sport, it will keep track of your total time engaged in the sport or activity, keep track of your estimated kilocalorie burn, and keep track of your heart rate throughout the activity. So here is your heart rate. You have a dial pad, one tethered via Bluetooth. This is a speakerphone, and you can use it as such. I've used it, and it works. There's that summary, your exercise summary. Here's your sleep tracking from the night before. Weather settings, you can pull that in from your smart phone. Blood oxygen saturation, music player, breath training, AI voice, sports history, pull in your contacts, your recent people, phone numbers called, and your messages. SMS messages pull in from your smartphone when tethered via Bluetooth. That works just fine. It's got a calculator, voice recorder, some games in here. It's got snake, colorblind, card, number puzzle, soak-o-bomb. It's got an alarm clock, stopwatch, timer, flashlight, which will light up all the pixels to let you use this in a pinch as a flashlight in the dark. It's got a compass on board. That's kind of unique. I like that a lot. Find device. Camera. This is just a remote camera trigger. When tethered to your phone via Bluetooth, you can shake your wrist and it will make your phone take a picture. Back into your settings. Some display settings here. Clock styles. Idle clock. Screen off. So yeah, so idle clock is basically an always-on display feature. So, it will reduce your battery life. Screen off time, I have it set to 30 seconds for the purposes of this review. You can set that down to 5. Here's where you can set your wallpaper. And you will see now that I changed it. When I press, I've got a different wallpaper in the background there. Now, allegedly, you can use your custom photos to use as wallpaper. However, I've transferred a couple photos onto the watch, and I can't get them to show up. So I don't know if I did something wrong, if their resolution is way too high, or exactly what I did wrong, but I have not gotten that to work. And also, you know, I've sent an MP4 over, a video, to see if I could get that to play, and that didn't work for me either. So something odd there, or user error, I'm not sure which. But that's basically your menu system. You can change the style of menu. You know, here are your photos. These are the defaults that come with the watch. Again, the one custom one I transferred over does not appear here. I don't know why. Same with videos, the cheesy videos that come with the watch, and the one I transferred over doesn't show up. Again, I don't know why. So if I press the bottom right button, that will just turn this display off, and because I have this on always on display mode, it will go to that always on screen for a few seconds and then turn off. And you can adjust that time as well. So, you know, that's the basic functionality of the watch. Let's go look at the app. The app here is called Wear Pro, as I said at the beginning. And this, folks, is kind of the deal breaker for me. This app is just loaded with ads, okay? You think you're going to click here to continue, but it actually tells you right there that this is an advertisement. To get to the app, you have to click on the upper right where it says continue to app, and it's just loaded with ads, and I really hate that. An app for a smart device should not be loaded with ads. They should not be tricking you into buying upgrades or other things. So I really dislike the app greatly for this thing. That said, here's your activity for the day, and I can go back and look for the weeks and the month, all the previous days that I've worn it. So that's kind of neat. You get that history, your exercise records, your sleep tracking, and again, you can scroll back through the days and weeks and months and whatnot. It gives you, let's go back there for a second, it gives you your time engaged in your total time, your deep sleep, shallow sleep, REM sleep, and times awake. So I find that to be fairly credible. Here's your heart rate. You can decide what interval you want this to measure, and again, you can go back through previous days and weeks and months. Blood oxygen saturation measurements. I think it does a fairly credible job here. It's in line with the SPO2 readings I get from every other device, and 28-day cycle tracking if you are so, plumbed up. Exercise modes. I've not used it to track exercises because I have other watches for that, but I assume this all works. Various exercise modes. It's not a GPS watch, so it's really just going to keep track of your time engaged in the activity, give you an estimate of kilocalorie burn, and track your heart rate over the course of the exercises. Here is where you would get to your device and sync the data from the device. Okay. You can turn on and off incoming calls and SMS notifications. That all works just fine for me. And here's where you toggle them on and off. And then you get to use some personal information. You can set up your goals, unit settings, quick help, feedback, and whatnot. So that's the app. Let me give you my final thoughts here. So there you see, it's got 4 gigabytes of storage. It will support Bluetooth headsets, local music player, local video, although I didn't get the video to work, sound recording, photo album, didn't get photos to sync. You can enable a 3D display. Again, it's labeled as the DT5 Smartwatch. Let me zoom in one last time here and give you my final opinions. This is selling on AliExpress right now for $43.56. And this is a watch that I would say I do not recommend it. It does not have the full feature set that I would expect in a watch at this price point. It is nice, don't get me wrong. What it does, it seems to do okay, but it's not setting the world on fire for me, okay? Here is, if you go into music mode, you can turn it to local mode and you can play music from the watch. And you can pair it with your headphones, like I said, and that all works. That's where you would do that. Your user interface effect. This is where you would get into some of those 3D effects. This is one of the rare watches where you can set the time and date right on the watch itself. You don't have to sync it with the app. That's the most common question I get in the comments on these reviews is how do I set the time? Well, this one gives you a way to set the time right there. Set the date, set the time, so you don't really need to sync it with the app and pair it with your phone. Some vibration settings, some brightness settings. You basically have 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. View modes, you can choose your menu system. You can set your language, do not disturb mode, power save mode, screen lock password, switch video. This is the boot video and the shutdown video. USB mode, you can set it to, when you connect to the USB, it's charging, or you can do mass storage. And then when it's sitting on the cradle connected to your PC, you can send your music over to the watch when it's in mass storage mode. Same with photos, you can transfer those over. Let me make sure I'm back to normal here. Storage space, it tells you how much space is reserved by the system, how much you have for photos and video, and how much you have left. Menu system. All right, you can shut down and reboot. Let me see if I can get to photos here and just take one last look to see if by some chance the photo that I transferred over appears, or the video. No, these are just the default videos. So, that didn't really work for me. So it is the DT5 Smartwatch. I do not recommend it. I think it's a little pricey for what you get, but it is a decent watch. It's nice looking, I would say. If it's got the feature set you're looking for, maybe consider it. Go check it out. I'll drop a link below on AliExpress. This channel is primarily about my kayaking adventures. I do these smartwatch reviews and smart ring reviews to monetize this site a little bit. So I've got another smart ring coming up here soon. So I appreciate you watching. Anything you can do to share this video, like it, leave a comment, all helps get the word out, and it all helps me raise a little bit of ad revenue that I invest right back into this channel by buying more smartwatches and smart rings and smart devices to review. So there you go. I give it a fair to good rating. I don't think it's an excellent value for the money. And just to let you know, I've got another smartwatch review coming up soon. It's going to be the S4 Ultra coming next, so stay tuned for that, as well as this smart ring. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you so wish. Thank you very much, and good Lord willing and the creeks don't rise, I will be back with you very, very soon. Thank you so much.